Hey, K-Rock Mid-Atlantic Rock Reviews up at K-Rockathon. I'm with Starset, and I've got Dustin and Ron. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thanks. Great to be here.
So I'm excited to talk to you guys because there's like a lot of stuff to talk about. First of all, how hot is this thing?
Today was warm, but you know, nothing more than just normal sweat on stage. So.
It's been specifically designed to breathe by me.
Now you're the engineer, right? So
I am an engineer, yeah, and the engineer, yes.
So did you custom make these in some way to make them cool, or did like?
Yeah, I mean, you know, they play into the story, the overarching. Okay, I guess we're bringing
show that, man. Bring that in.
Perfect timing, whatever.
You have to have full effect.
Got that
You're
hanging out so you guys
talking
can
about
see.
Yeah, so we're. I forget the question.
Talking about the engineering of this stuff, like, is there anything special done to them to make you cooler on
the
stage?
overarching narrative of the Starset Society, which, if you check out the graphic novel that's been released, it tells part of the future side of the story, and there is a space element, there's a future element, and there is a big technology element, and it plays into the future and the past, and they will be releasing a report later this year that's a novelized account of the entire thing. So
now you guys have only been a band not about a year now or something like that, a little over.
The project I've been working on for over a year and a half, but the band itself, the live band, it's been since November, and so it's been
Holy
taken
crap.
on. So, yeah. I think we've been on the radio since then.
Yeah. So were these songs kicking around? Like, did you have them already, or you know?
No, they were written based on the information I got from the Starset Society. I incorporated Thomas's information. He brought the message to the Starset Society, and his life story was involved in that, his biography, and I incorporated not only his message but his story into it, and I think that's what's given it a human element. And in the end, on top of the entire message, there's a big story of overcoming obstacles and triumphing over resistance.
Carnivore, won't you come digest me? Take away everything I am. Bring it suicide! Carnivore, won't you come and take me? Take away everything I am.
Now, for people that may be backing up into that, tell us about the formation, the Starset Society, and the message and all that stuff.
Yeah,
at the beginning.
I was doing research at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base when I was working on my PhD, and I met a guy, Dr. Weiss, at the time, and didn't think much of it, and he went his way, I went my way, but then after I lost my first record deal with Downplay, with Epic, he reached out to me and said, I have this, this message, this movement, and I'm trying to put together a band to help promote it. And I thought it was crazy at first, but I dived into it, and I got part of the report itself, and I realized I could get behind it because at its heart it was a story of, it was a message of manipulated technology at the hands of a few in the future, and I took that and incorporated it into the record, and now we're here and we're beginning to spread that, and it's only going to get. This is just the beginning of the rabbit hole. We're just,
So was the album written as a concept album? In other words, like when I listen to it, I kind of pick it up. Can I follow the story for those listening from song to song? Does it follow a narrative?
It does, but not as directly as like a Rush record. It's not literal. It's very metaphoric, and there's sometimes three metaphors running in tandem. So there's I wanted people to relate to this record. I wanted to use the record as a way to reach people, and then they could dig more into this. But it does have, it is a concept record, and as far as it does draw from the message, and it also, I deliberately made it sound hopefully like a rock soundtrack to a sci-fi movie. So if you listen to, I hope people listen to it as a whole. It's not a collection of singles like rock has been forever, and that's regardless of the concept. I think rock has become very single-driven, and that's kind of lame.
Now I'm going to ask a naive non-musician, very stupid question that you've probably been asked 100 times. Tell us about the giant thing that you manipulate on stage. 'Cause I've only seen it one other time, and it was a drummer that does this thing by himself. And tell me about that thing.
As far as the CEO, actually, it's called an emulator, and the CEO of that company contacted me. Their company is Smithson Martin, and he said, as far as he knew, we were the first rock band to use this, and it's a touchscreen that I use to DJ the electronics. And so eventually, actually, we're a 4-piece now, but eventually there will be a cellist and a violinist.
Oh, wow.
Bringing the cinematic element, the symphonic element, and then it'll just be the electronics that I will be DJing, with the rock band as well. So hopefully it has a Minority Report look to it. During the day, it's not as stunning, but at night it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I noticed your bass drum had some lights in it. These have some lights in it. So how do you manage to sing in that? Because I saw you had the mic in there, I think.
Yeah, we've got the wireless mics inside of it.
And so how does that work out?
I mean, it's
Is that another member? No, here, feel free.
I mean, it's a wireless microphone. It's inside the helmet. It's not too bad,
Any air conditioning or anything in there? Or
no, he's thought about doing that. I think on the next iteration of these, but they're not too terrible. So we've been running with them.
So what about music videos? Are we going to see like some kind, because it's called cinematic rock sort of, and is there any hope of like an actual movie to go with this sort of soundtrack? Are we going to do individual videos, or is that?
Currently, the videos we can continue to get. Yeah, just do it, everybody. Sorry. Yeah, we'll just continue to get more and more cinematic, the videos themselves, but after, there could be, I'm not going to say there is, a movie's impossible.
Now, I'm always, we pride ourselves at Mid-Atlantic Rock Reviews on finding a lot of bands early, but I got to admit this one, Sirius found you guys before we did. So how did you get with Sirius so quick? I mean, because you were up on their stuff right away.
Hey, everybody just wants to come in.
Come on, man. Come on in, man. Hey.
It's a party.
This is the way we do things. We call ourselves the Wayne's World of rock and roll, so it's all good, man. We do that all the time. So anyway, the question being, how did you get on Sirius so fast? Because other than otherwise, I mean, you guys were on there quicker than any band I know.
Yeah, there wasn't too much to it. Submitted the record through a promotion company, and they actually picked it up and started spinning it. It was amazing. Typically, I don't know what how it usually works with them, but they literally heard it and were like, "This is a single," and they started spinning it 50 times a week.
It was pretty awesome when we first started on.
Yeah, and so we definitely commend their trailblazing, because a lot of radio stations wait until it gets to a certain level. These guys were like, "That's a single," and immediately it was in this power rotation.
You guys are from Columbus, a place we go to annually for Rock on the Range. Have you attended Rock on the Range just as rock people, or and are there obviously, I would think, hopes of landing there at some point?
I mean, it's our hometown, so we've been there many times. That's for sure.
Tell us about this festival. What do you think? I mean, it's our first time here. I'm thinking it's because you've only been a band for a little while. It's maybe not as individuals, but how's this festival relate to some other places you guys have played?
It's bigger. Since we've only been together since November, and our first real tour was in this year, the band's been growing and growing, and this is probably the fourth, big major size festival we've done. So it's still really relatively new to us, and it's an awesome time.
So, and there's some other band members can chime in on this. Did you have to adapt to wearing this at all? I mean, like doing solos and stuff. Was there anything to it? Especially the drums. I was watching the drums, man, and it's like, any adaptations needed?
It definitely took some practice to get used to it, but
More of a challenge. Yeah. Pushes me to a new level. It's fun.
Do people react differently to you, like walking around with the costumes on? Beforehand,
I think they do, but I think afterwards it's yeah, it's a journey for them. It's something that they like to imagine and have fun with. So yeah.
So what do you guys got coming up next big? Obviously, this was a pretty cool festival. Where are you heading after this?
We're
El Paso,
yeah,
I think.
Yep.
Yeah, big festival there.
We've kind of planned a couple radio shows up until the tour starts in September. So.
Well, this is Starset, everybody. I want to thank you guys for being with us here on Behind the Bands and the Mar Army Rock Show. And so any other, one more thing I wanted to ask you about. You got like the most unique, not only bio, but the most unique website. So tell folks where to find your stuff and where your website is, and give them a little bit of the mission behind it, so to speak.
The band's website is starsetonline.com, and the overarching movement is at thestarsetsociety.org. We have a graphic novel that acts as a sort of starter into the movement, and the website is thestarsetsociety.org. You can dive in further, and by the end of the year there'll be a lot more information out. So hope to see you at a show soon, and thank you.
And one last thing, and I'll cut it out if you don't want to talk about it. What the heck happened to your hand?
I injured it in the ocean playing football.
Here I was expecting some rock and roll story.
I'm not so athletically inclined. I'm a human being, so that's probably why.
Starset, everybody. And guys, nice meeting you, and thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having us.